Hi everybody, this is Erica and Craig from Monkey's Paw, and this is our first video. We are doing the
20 questions for the introduction to the vinyl community. Something we've been wanting to do for a while and figured, let's stop putting it off and let's get to it. So, question one was, how many records do you own?
I actually went ahead and attempted to count all of our records, and just on 33 and a third size, we have approximately 480 vinyl records. That does not include all of the 78s and 45s that we have.
Yeah.
So,
My answer to that is not enough, because you can never have enough, and we don't have enough right now, but we're getting there.
we'll never have enough.
Right.
Don't let it lie to you.
So number two is, what kind of record player do you have? And right now we're using an Audio Technica AT-LP. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's been really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was his birthday present from me for his birthday in April. So he already had a ton of records before he got the player, and I decided to get him a record player because it was sad seeing them sitting around and not getting used.
Yeah.
So
she kind of started all this off, and it is her fault when she starts complaining about how much money actually gets spent on these.
I
So.
I can't complain because he lets me buy all the yarn I want. So
And so question four? Oh no,
No,
question
three.
three. Okay. How old were you when you started collecting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were both born in the late 70s, so we grew up in the vinyl era. So I guess technically we started collecting when we were little kids,
Yeah.
and
They've always been around, parents, and my sister had a lot of albums and everything, and we just recently got back into it. Like I said, she bought me the turntable and everything, and it's nice. It's
it's just kind of expanded from there
yeah.
a lot.
So okay, now number four. What's the oldest that we both share a collection, but a lot of these are going to be personal choices on the albums and everything. The oldest one that I could think of at the moment is this. It's a 78. It's came out in 1951. It's Sunny Sit. You probably can't see that, but yeah, it's a promo copy, disc jockey one. So that was kind of cool.
Absolutely. You
So,
want me to take that?
yeah, I'll just put it over here.
Okay.
I'm back.
So that's the oldest one that we personally own in the collection. And then from here on out, this is kind of the questions from here on out are, his answers and my answers. So I guess number 5 is the first record I got. Like I said, I'm, late 70s kid. So go ahead and laugh, everybody. The very first record I remember getting is this. And it's a Raggedy Ann and Andy's Christmas Party. I used to listen to this all the time when I was little. We're talking, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. I used to listen to this constantly. So, and I still love it because, memories.
Mine, I can't really remember. More than likely, I remember having like a bunch of 45s when I was a little kid, all on that Peter Pan label, little green, thing. But when my sister moved out of the house when I was younger, then she left all her records, so that gave me, that really kind of kicked it off for me, and she listened to stuff like Bob Seger and Alice Cooper and Skinner, and all the classic rock albums and everything. So That's pretty much that. What was the first album that you bought with your own money?
Okay, so I am very, very depressed about this one because the very first album I bought with my own money was Michael Jackson's Thriller, and I still to this day have no idea what happened to that album. I asked my dad if possibly I'd left it at his house when I moved out. He can't find it. I think it may have gotten snagged by a friend. Well, I say friend.
Mine was this Rolling Stones, Dirty Work, not their best work at all. But what was really cool was, I remember listening to this, and it was, in a way, kind of my introduction to Tom Waits early on, because the song Harlem Shuffle, and being a kid and everything, it's like you sit here and read the little inner sleeve and all that, and who all appeared on the album and everything. I've been, and then later on, looking around, it's like, oh, hey, this is Tom Waits, and you make that association, and there you go. So, not their best album, but
it introduced him to Tom Waits,
yeah, and
you can't go wrong with Tom Waits.
You can't go wrong with Tom Waits.
So it looks like number 7 is our favorite colored vinyl, and here we each have a different opinion on that. They're both wonderful, but So mine would be this 45 of Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, and on the flip side you have Plastic Fantastic Lover. And as you can see, that splatter is just amazing. I think this is just probably the prettiest one that we have.
That is really cool.
Not to mention, what a great song.
Both of them.
Oh,
actually.
Absolutely.
I actually like the B side of that a lot better than the A side, but that's just me personally.
That's okay.
Yeah, my favorite colored vinyl would have to be this King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album. It's really, really neat. It's this blue glare,
As you can see, we both picked splatter.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah, it's like I said, this is one of my
I'm not gonna lie,
favorite albums.
I'm not sure I ever paid attention. I don't think I've seen the actual vinyl on that until you pulled it out. That is really, cool? Really gorgeous.
It is neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's why you should play King Gizzard more. Everybody should play more King Gizzard.
Until you've heard Rattlesnake about 6 times in a row and it's stuck in your head for the rest of your life. Just saying.
Our youngest kid loves that song.
Yes, yes he does.
Okay, so, let's see. Discount album.
Okay, so on the Discount album, that was a bit difficult for Craig to figure out because he buys a lot. But, I told him, I said, well, just think of, one that you spent very little money on that you're just really, really glad that you grabbed. So for me anyway, it was, we had gone to Goodwill and found this, which is Venus and Mars by Wings. This album is really, really good. And it was just one that, honestly, I'm a huge Beatles fan. I enjoy Wings a lot too. And this is one that I had not seen before. So Craig brought it home and I'm like, oh, I've never even seen that. That's amazing. So 25 cents.
Mine was like a long time ago when I was a kid. I was at a flea market and I picked up a couple albums. This one was one of them. I paid $0.25 for it, which is really cool. And that is the Doors' first album. Again, always been a big, Doors fan. It's on the Elektra, the brown Elektra label. It's always been one of my favorite albums.
And it plays fantastic.
Yeah, it plays really, really good.
Yep, there's not a scratch on it.
So, yep, that is my discount album.
Okay, so our
Next is,
next
was that Prized Possession? What is your prized possession?
Okay, so I had a hard time deciding on this, but I chose this album, and the reason I chose this album as my prized possession is because of how it came into my possession. It is Jack Johnson, In Between Dreams, which I absolutely love this album, and Craig and I and a friend of ours had gone to our local record shop. We were on our way there, and I was telling them that I had been looking for this Jack Johnson album, and it's like, man, I'd really, really like to have that, you know. So when we get there, I'm going to see if maybe they happen to have a copy. And so we walked into our local record shop, and the guy that owns it, Travis, it's Village Green Records. I walked up and said, hey, you know, do you happen to have any Jack Johnson? And this young guy standing behind me says, hey, I just turned one in. I said, really? Which album was it? He said, In Between Dreams. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the one I've been looking for. So had I gotten there like a half an hour earlier, I wouldn't have gotten it. So that's why I chose that as the prized possession album.
Kismet.
Exactly. It was meant to be.
Yeah. One of mine, again, another flea market find. I love those places. But the MC5, you know, kick out the jams. Love this album. Love everything from Detroit at that point in time. You know, just so many great bands, so much influential music. There must have been something in the water in Detroit. Not, you know. That sounds bad, but
Yeah, probably.
probably still is.
I think that was in poor taste.
But anyway, really great album. I love all this stuff. You know, I can't say much about it. You know, other if you haven't listened to it, definitely pick it up. It's really good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so our next question was favorite female artist, and so we obviously have two different albums here. So mine was, and the reason I picked this is because I've always loved her. Like I said, I'm an 80s kid. I grew up in the 80s, and it's Madonna's True Blue. And the reason I chose that was because I picked this up the other day. I used to have it on cassette when I was a kid. I popped this on the record player, and I still remembered every single word to every single song on this album. I love it.
Yeah, she did.
Much to his chagrin.
No, I love Madonna too.
He just didn't want to hear me sing it.
Mine, I'm going with Patti Smith. This did come out on Record Store Day. It was really cool. Her version of Hey Joe is
Amazing.
really good. It's haunting. And yeah. Just really good, you know. Again, this one's Hey Joe on one side and Piss Factory on the other side. Really good album.
It is. It's great.
And I look forward to picking up more of Patti Smith stuff in the future. I've had it on CD and everything, but I'd really like to start getting that on vinyl.
Absolutely. And then number 11, favorite band. Your favorite record from your favorite band. So, Craig, you want to go ahead and go first on that one?
All right. Again, you know, like I said, Detroit.
All things Detroit.
All things Detroit. We got Funhouse. I love the song Dirt. I can't get enough of that. The Ashtons, Iggy, everybody. It's great.
Iggy's my man.
Yeah, and what else can be said about Funhouse? It's a really good, really good album. This one's like really cool. It's a reissue.
On a beautiful smoky vinyl.
Yeah, this orange smoke
It's hard to
So-
see the black smoke through it, but it's really,
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
really cool. The Electra Butterfly label. Really neat. They did a really good job on that.
So, as I stated earlier, I'm a huge fan of the Beatles, so my favorite album from my favorite band has to be Rubber Soul by the Beatles, because Norwegian Wood, I mean, that's, what else can you say? The entire album is solid, but Norwegian Wood is by far probably my favorite track on there. You know, you have just everything. Girl, In My Life, which is one of my other favorite Beatles songs. You know, it's all on there. And this was when they actually had a chance to be themselves instead of trying to be the boy band from the 60s, you know? So, that is my favorite.
Hey, let's see, Impulse Buy. So, what was your impulse purchase?
Okay, so I love this band, but I was not even remotely looking for it, didn't even think about it. I happened to see it one day at our local record store and went, oh my god, I have to have that. And it was the Stray Cats, because, you know, Brian Setzer for the win.
Built for Speed.
Yes, and this is the one that has Stray Cat Strut. So it's just a great album, it really is. It's a really good upbeat album, especially if you don't have the motivation to clean your house like I need to right now.
Yeah.
And so I put this on and I have a little more bounce in my step.
Yeah. Mine was, actually last week I was at the local thrift store and just kind of flipping through and I found this album right here.
He would tell you what it is, but we're not
It
sure we
is-
can pronounce it.
I can try. It's Shin Jung Hin and Yup Juns. It's all in Korean. I bought it mainly for the cover because, you know, I'm a sucker for psychedelic music too, and that cover looked pretty psychedelic. Like, look at those dudes in the blue and all that stuff, man. And I brought it home, and I was not disappointed. I paid $1 for it. Yeah, the cover's beat. The album's in really good shape. But
The music's amazing.
Yeah, it
it
is.
really is. I mean, we can't understand a single thing they're saying, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
With music, it doesn't matter as
No.
long as it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a like psychedelic funk. You know, it's just really good.
We have no idea why it was at our local thrift store, because we live in a very, very small town.
In the middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Exactly.
So,
So
yeah.
to find something like that is just unreal.
Exactly.
And what was even more astonishing was when Craig looked it up on Discogs.
Yeah,
and
it's going. The reissue is going for a decent price. We'll put it like that.
yeah.
So hopefully one of these days I'll find a better cover for it or find another one or something like that, you know, and just really upgrade it a little bit. But I'm definitely going to start looking out for more like foreign psych bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good. So what we got?
we are on number
a
13.
gift.
Yes.
A gift. Go ahead.
Okay, so mine was actually our anniversary is on Halloween, and my husband, being the amazing man that he is, picked up this for me. Hopefully you can see it through the glare, but that is Monolord's Empress Rising.
Yeah.
From Rise Above Records. They are a fantastic band. If you have not listened to them, please do.
Everything off that record label.
Oh.
It's from what I've heard so far.
Absolutely. And this one's actually a very, very pretty translucent yellow.
Yeah.
So, but the entire album's amazing. It is two discs, and there is one track per side. So they're very, very long tracks. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So if you're into metal or anything like that, please,
it.
God, try this out.
Let's that bass get out.
Oh,
Real
man.
deep. Hey, so my gift, a while back, my buddy brought this over and said, you know, I could have it. And it was awesome. And it is AC/DC's TNT, the Australian release. It's on the Albert Productions label. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, bear with us. This is the first video that we've ever done, so hopefully after we've done this, we can make some improvements.
Yes.
But anyway, great album, man. It's got tracks on it that aren't on the US release. You know, was it School Days? Is that the track? Yeah, School Days. Really cool little Chuck Berry cover.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite bands, you know, AC/DC.
Oh yeah. So Most Played was our next one.
Yes, Most Played.
So Craig will, you know, back me up on this. I'm surprised I haven't worn a hole through it yet, but that would be for me Shades of Deep Purple, which is just, Deep Purple is such an amazing band. We have several of their albums.
Yeah.
All of them are fantastic. This one, however, like I said, huge Beatles fan, so there's a cover that they did of the song Help that is incredible.
Yeah, it's
I
phenomenal.
mean, I love the Beatles,
Really
but
good.
I like their cover even better. So yeah.
And that is our cats.
Fighting.
I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah. Of
Our
course.
cats.
Just as bad as our kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fighting for the chair that you can't see on camera.
Exactly.
My Most Played at the moment has to be another King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album.
Yes.
This is the Flying Microtonal Banana.
Yes.
It's an awesome album. Again, it's on this splatter gold and blue. Really funky band. They really catchy. Really psychedelic.
Yes. Out of Australia?
Yep.
Yes.
Australian band. They're really stinking cool. Another one that it's like I'm so glad I found out about this year.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so now we are going on to our
15.
number 15, which is the rarity that we have. So, you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure. Let's
His is
see.
amazing.
Yeah, we were in Indianapolis a while back and stopped in, and I found a copy of the Dead Kennedys' Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. It is on the cherry red label. Really neat. One of my favorite punk bands. You know, it still had the poster still in it. Yeah, you know, so it's, you know, California Uber Ollies, Holiday in Cambodia, their cover of Viva Las Vegas, Killing the Poor, Forward to Death. You know, it's pretty much a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how much of a rarity it is, but around here,
It's almost impossible to find.
those punk bands, those old, you know, old punk albums are just hard to find around here.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we're in the middle of
Nowhere, Indiana.
nowhere, Indiana.
So, the one that I have as the rarity was, and I'm not sure that the band so much necessarily, although they're a little hard to find too, but it's Badfinger, Straight Up, and let's see if we can get that without the glare. But if you notice down here at the bottom,
Yeah, it is
a Korean copy.
Yep, it is a Korean pressing of it.
So, we pull this out here.
It's like I don't know if it's a boot, you know, or what, but it's really cool. It's clean. Plays, you know, it plays decent, you know.
Yep.
We did get another copy of that, you know, a few months ago on the Apple label and everything,
Yes.
and it's great band.
A lot of George Harrison influence there.
Unfortunately, a tragedy stricken band, but
Yeah.
what they did was pretty good.
Yes.
So now we're on to a Rainy Day record.
Yes.
What did you choose for that?
Speaking of Tom Waits earlier, we have Tom Waits' Foreign Affairs. Now, if any of you have ever listened to Tom Waits, you'll know he is a great one to listen to anytime, but especially on a rainy day. If any of you happen to have a copy of Rain Dogs, please feel free to let me know. I will be more than happy to take it off your hands because that's what I've been looking for forever and cannot find it.
Yeah. My Rainy Day record was Lou Reed's Transformer.
Our songs on that.
Yeah, Perfect Day. But, really, again, great rainy day. Great Rainy Day album. Any of his stuff is.
Oh,
Velvet
yeah.
Underground,
Lovely read.
Yeah. So, on to Feel Good album.
Yes. So the Feel Good album that I chose. Why does your stack look so much bigger than mine? The one that I chose was Donovan's Greatest Hits. This is actually an original pressing that my husband got a hold of. It was still in the. It was still sealed.
Yeah.
Does have a little bit of a warp in it because of that, but it plays fantastic. And I mean, let's face it, what better to make you feel good than listening to Sunshine Superman and Mellow Yellow?
And Season of the Witch is an awesome song.
Oh, heavens yes. And there is a mountain. I mean, everything on here is fantastic. So,
for my Feel Good album, I chose Frank Zappa's Chic Your Booty.
which just the title makes me
Even
giggle.
the title's great, but I'm a huge Zappa fan too, You can't really get into psych music and stuff like that, and avant-garde things without having some Zappa in there.
Ugh.
And his,
And the more
just-
Zappa, the better.
Yeah, you can never have enough Zappa in your life.
I knew that was going to be in here eventually. I'm looking at his pile, and I
Okay.
knew the next one was going to be on there
So,
somewhere.
a nostalgic album.
Go ahead. That way they can see
excuse
what
me.
I'm talking about.
My nostalgic album would have to be Ted Nugent's Free for All. Anytime I listen to any Ted Nugent, it just takes me back to being a kid, summertime. Like I said, my sister was like 13 years older than I am, so. Her friends would all be partying and stuff, and, it's like going over there in the summer and it's warm, fresh cut grass, Ted Nugent, and, that's the reason why I have so much Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
She's not a very big fan of Ted Nugent, but, that's okay.
I respect him as an artist. He's a fantastic guitarist, just not my style. So,
Yeah.
please don't hate me.
So what is your nostalgic record?
Okay, so like I said, 80s kid, and who doesn't remember We Are the World? I mean, that was like the biggest thing ever back in the 80s. If you were in the 80s and you don't know what this is, you weren't really in the 80s, okay?
Right.
You weren't.
Right.
I mean, you have Dan Aykroyd, Harry Belafonte. I mean, everybody is on here.
Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie.
Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, Diana Ross, Paul Simon. I mean, everybody.
Hall and
Cyndi
Oates.
Lauper.
Hall and Oates was my jam back in the day, still
Cyndi
is.
Lauper. Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. So,
So, yeah, I mean, so that was my nostalgic one because, I mean, it just makes me remember all of my childhood. I mean, because this was a big part of the 80s. So I hear this, I even look at it and I'm just like,
yeah,
oh my
this
gosh.
song immediately pops into your head.
Exactly.
And you
And
can't get it out.
and the one that follows is always, I want to teach the world to sing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. I always think of that when I think of this too.
Damn Coke commercials. Was it a Coke commercial?
Yes, it was. I
yeah.
want to buy the world of Coke. Yeah.
Brainwashing with commercials.
Yeah, well, you know.
And whoever sang that. I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Me either.
So, number 19, a record store day purchase. So, you want to go ahead with that?
Sure. He asked me what I wanted from Record Store. I was not able to go with him to Record Store Day.
And it was my first record store day, so
Yes, and
I went ape shit. A bunch of stuff.
And I said, I don't care what else you get, do me a favor, try not to spend over $250, and if you can find me a copy of The Cure's Greatest Hits, that's all I ask. And while he didn't find the regular Cure's Greatest Hits, he found me the Cure Acoustic Hits, which is a picture disc. I have to turn, there we go. Now you can see his face.
Yep, there's Robert.
And it is a double disc set, and it is, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the Cure acoustically,
But
and
it's really good.
holy cow. I mean, I have this almost made it onto the most played list, okay?
Right.
I have played this thing a lot.
And for a picture disc, they've really come a long way with picture discs.
Man.
Like some of the new ones. Because I remember, like, back in the day, it's like my buddy has a copy, like a old copy of, like a Creeping Death Metallica picture disc, and it sounds like shit. It just
Yeah.
sounds awful. And that's what I was afraid of when I bought that. I'm like, man, it's like, why did they have to put it on a picture disc? But it
sounds phenomenal.
It sounds really good.
It does. It sounds
So,
fantastic.
The technology of picture discs from our very limited experience of having one,
Right.
has come a long way.
Yeah.
My record store day purchase, like I said, I bought a few. That Patti Smith 45 was a record store day purchase. But this one was like really cool. It's Pink Floyd's Interstellar Overdrive. It's in mono. It's just one entire side, and that's all that's on it. The other side's blank. Yeah, I really wish they would have done like an etching or something on the other side. But, it came with like a little poster and all this stuff. It's great.
It
I
is.
listen to it. It takes you to other places. It's all that early Pink Floyd stuff's just
Take a trip without leaving the house.
right. Or without any chemicals.
Exactly.
Anyway, so recent purchase.
All right. So, he just bought one yesterday, so would you like to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, I
Alright.
purchased. It's another band from Rise
Above.
Above Records. It's this Electric. Oh, yeah, might want to do that. It's Electric Wizard. It's really cool. Black Masses. Almost messed up there with the, But anyway, it's an awesome album. Heavy. Really
Very heavy. It's really good.
If you like heavy doom, stoner, metal, definitely a really good album.
Almost anything from Rise Above, really. I mean,
Yeah, Rise Above, Riding Easy,
Yep.
all those,
Yep, absolutely.
And what was yours?
Mine, one of my more recent purchases, not super recent, but recent enough, was Mastodon Crack the Sky. Which, if you've never listened to Mastodon, they're a newer band, and can you tell we're fans of metal at all? I mean, just a little bit.
We like everything,
Yes, but we really do like our metal
Yeah, we do
and our
like
psych.
metal. Yeah.
And this is an excellent, excellent album. I mean, the entire thing is just great from start to finish. Both sides. Love, 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 love this album. Need to get some more of their stuff. I really do. This is the only thing I have by them, and I am determined to get more.
Yeah.
So
that wraps it up for us. That was our 20 questions.
Yep.
Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you didn't fall asleep. Like I said, it's our first first video, and we're wanting to do more videos in the future.
Absolutely.
And so you guys have a great day, and
Thank you so much for watching.
yeah, thanks for watching, and keep spinning, guys.
Yes, please.